Hi there, my name is Rochelle Manguino, and I'm so excited to be here with you today to give you a good breakdown of EXP Realty and how by leveraging the model, we can help scale your business together. So without further ado, the first thing that I wanted to get into was the innovation of technology over time and how today it's completely dominating our modern world. So back in the day, for example, when we had Blockbuster, people at the time said that there was no way that they would ever rent a movie or a video game without first going into a store and checking out their options. But Netflix rolled around, which is a cloud-based software, and completely changed the way we have access to movies and TV. Same thing with electronics. People said that they wouldn't even consider buying a laptop, a cell phone, or a smart device without first going into a store and seeing it. But then Amazon came along and not only gave us a quicker, more efficient way to do our shopping, but is now recognized as the world's most valuable brand. Same thing with traditional brokerages. People said that you could never close a real estate deal without having a brick and mortar office to go into first. But we can see that with COVID and everyone working from home, there's been a huge shift towards virtual and remote workplaces that despite the pandemic, the real estate industry specifically continued to thrive and crush record-breaking sales across North America. So we are a cloud-based brokerage that is proudly ahead of the forefront. We were designed to drop overhead and reduce expenses for our agents so that you can continue to stay with the times and stay profitable. So here at EXP, we are on an 80-20 split. There's a $16,000 cap. After you cap, you go to 100% commission. Now, for anyone who is a top producing agent or anyone who wants to be a top producer, this is one of the biggest things that attract people to the company, which is the Icon program. So to become an Icon agent, one of two things must be fulfilled. Either one, you've reached your $16,000 cap and done 20 additional transactions, or you've hit $500,000 in GCI, gross commission income. Once you've reached Icon status, your reward is getting your entire $16,000 cap back for free in the form of company stock. Now, I want to show you just how powerful that actually is. So if you take a look at our current stock, EXPI, and we're looking at the last 12 months here, and I'm going to compare us to the top two brokerages in North America and, the only other two publicly traded real estate companies, which happen to be Realogy, which owns Sotheby's and Coldwell Banker, as well as Remax. So looking at the last 12 months, our growth went exponential. And if we compare it to Realogy, you can see here that they laid pretty flat, and then Remax, they laid pretty flat. But more paramount, what I want to show you was our market cap. So market cap being the total value of the company's shares in stock, which you can see here is $4.21 billion. Now, looking at Realogy, their market cap is $1.71 billion, and Remax is sitting at $689.59 million. So you can see that the total value of EXP's shares in stock is worth more than double the only other two publicly traded real estate companies combined. Now, what does that mean for you? Well, if you take a look at what happened over the last 5 years, say you were a top producer back in 2016. At any other brokerage, likely you would have gotten an award with your name on it and maybe an email blast to the rest of the company announcing your award. And if that happened to you, then congratulations, that's really exciting. But let's see what would have happened if you were at EXP. So in 2016, if you got your $16,000 cap back as an Icon agent, that would now be worth over $1.2 million. If you're an Icon agent every year since 2016, that would be multiple seven figures. So it is absolutely phenomenal. And this is the reason why top producers from all across the world are joining EXP, because you're getting compensated more for doing exactly what you're already doing, which is helping sellers, helping buyers, helping investors. Now, if you're a newer agent, you may be wondering, well, is EXP for me? Absolutely. And I'm going to get into the support and the training that EXP provides above and beyond what we at Double Your Income Coaching do to get you to Icon status. But the truth of the matter is that EXP is the number one fastest growing company, fastest growing brokerage in North American history. And we got that way because of agents joining in from all different skill and experience levels. So I want to show you right here that we actually just crossed 40,000 agents across Canada and the US alone. We're also currently in the UK, Australia, and we just went into South Africa. By the end of this year, 2021, we'll be expanding into Mexico, India, Portugal, and France and hitting over 100,000 agents. And then in the next 2 years, we'll be adding 30 more countries with over 450,000 agents. And by the end of 2030, 1 million agents globally. So why am I telling you all this? Well, as entrepreneurs, we all understand the importance of getting in at the bottom floor. And what I mean by that is, would you rather purchase Amazon stock now, for example, where it's worth over $1,000 a share, or back when it was $100 or maybe even $20 a share? Well, it makes sense to get in the early phases because eventually that curve will plateau and the opportunity won't be as substantial. So based on everything that I've shown you, and this is all fact, one would argue that the best time to reap the rewards at EXP is right now. All right, so I just wanted to dispel a couple of myths here, and I know you've all heard them. Let's get the elephant out of the room. Number one is that EXP is a pyramid scheme and none of the agents sell, they only recruit. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth because if you look at the stats, 90% of the active agents at EXP do not actively recruit. Only 10% do. And it's unfortunate because it's probably that small 10% that you might hear from, but the reality is that 90% of the agents are focused solely on production. If you're looking at the sales volume growth, which I have here, and I'm going to compare EXP to the top 3 brokerages in the world, and I can't say their names, unfortunately, but I'm confident that you can put 2 and 2 together. EXP's growth was 112%, whereas the other brokerages barely hit 30%. And if we're looking at agent growth, which I already mentioned, you can see here that the top brokerages pretty much broke even, one even lost agents, whereas with us, our increase was massive. So it really goes to show you that we are a numbers-based group that is focused on performance and tangible results. Now, if you did want to leverage the optional team building avenue, then I really want to touch base on that because the opportunity there is absolutely remarkable. It is game changing. It has changed my and my family's lives for the rest of our lives. So this is it right here. What you're looking at is basically a model of a revenue share system. It is 7 tiers deep. So if you were to come into the company, you would be at the top of this, okay? You would have your own 7 tiers. And let me just paint this picture for you, okay? Let's say, for example, you were to bring in your friend Max into the company, okay? You sponsor Max. Max goes on your tier 1. Now, let's use $10,000 as commission just to make things easy. So let's say Max closes a deal at $10,000 commission. So with the 80-20 split, Max would get 80% or $8,000. EXP would get 20% or $2,000. And then out of EXP's cut, not Max's, out of EXP's, you would get 3.5% of the GCI or $350 just for bringing Max into the company. Now, let's take it a step further and say that Max then sponsored Vicky. Vicky is now into the company and she's on your tier 2. Vicky closes a $10,000 deal. Vicky gets $8,000. Max gets $350, and because Vicky is on your tier 2, you get 4% or $400, which is a combination of 0.2% of what's called the expansion share and 3.8% of what's called the exponential share. Now, the names of these values aren't necessarily relevant. What is important to note is that these numbers can add up really quickly. Now, there is a maximum amount that you can make from each agent. So for example, if someone's on your tier 1, you can make up to $2,800 per agent per year. If someone is on your tier 2, you can make up to $3,200 per agent per year, tier 3 up to $2,000, and so on and so forth. Now, I want to give an example of what would happen if you were to sponsor 5 agents and each of those 5 agents then sponsored 5 of their own agents, okay? Well, you would have 5 agents on your tier 1. And if once they cap, you're making $2,800 from each of those agents for a total of $14,000 a year in passive income. Now, like I said, if each of those 5 agents then sponsored their own 5 agents, so now you have 25 agents on your tier 2, and they're all capping, you're making $3,200 from each of those tier 2 agents for a total of $80,000 a year. That's a grand total of $94,000 a year. And you've only hit level 2. Imagine what would happen if you were to go all the way down to tier 7. If you look at our last graph here, tier 7 is making you up to $4,000 per agent. That's number 1. Number 2, you've hit almost $100K a year in residual income, and you only initially sponsored 5 agents. Okay, so this is just to show you how powerful and how easy reaping the benefits of the revenue share model here at EXP can be if you properly understand it. Now, I do also want to show you just 2 or 3 other unique benefits of the revenue share model. And number 1 is that you retain your revenue share for as long as you have an active license with EXP. So, for example, say you're making $10,000 a month in revenue share, and one day you decide that you retire. Well, at any other brokerage, the day that you stop working, your income drops to 0. Whereas at EXP, even if you decide that you never want to sell another house again for the rest of your life, that's fine. You can still collect your revenue share every single month during your retirement, which, if you ask me, is an absolutely amazing exit strategy. Number 2 is that your revenue share is willable. Now, God forbid something were to happen to you unexpectedly, knock on wood, but your spouse or someone in your will in your family can get their license within an 18-month window. Again, never close a deal for the rest of their life and still inherit your revenue share. So you can rest assured that everything that you've worked so hard for will be provided to your family for the rest of time. So it is absolutely unbelievable what the revenue share model can do for you. And if that's the route that you wanted to incorporate into your business, then we as your upline sponsors not only have the tools, but a vested interest in your success to help get you there. All right, so now I'm going to walk you through EXP World, which is this right here. And I know what you're thinking. This is probably the stupidest thing that you've ever seen. And that's exactly what I thought when I first saw this until I properly understood it. So there are 600 employees in the cloud that you can leverage with EXP. And if you take a look here, these are all like different floors of a corporate building, okay? So if we needed technology support, for example, I'm just gonna click over here to tech support. So if you had issues resetting your password, for example, or you had issues with your CRM, whatever the case is, you just teleport yourself into right here, and you can see at all hours of the day, multiple EXP staff just literally sitting here waiting to remote log into your computer and troubleshoot any issues that you have. We have departments for everything from accounting, HR, payment processing. If you wanted, for example, to, let me see here, if you wanted to go into the marketing department, okay? Again, you teleport your avatar into the appropriate room. I'm just going to click right here onto the marketing center bulletin board, and then instantly you are teleported into, these are all templated brochures, you've got business cards, door hangers. I'm going to scroll down and you can see even Spanish marketing material. Now, so that's absolutely incredible. And if you wanted, for example, transactional help, you wanted someone familiar with your local MLS, well, so here, if you can take a look at the broker state rooms, every state and every province in which there's an active EXP agent also has a broker who manages the area, and in fact, multiple brokers. So if you were an agent in New Jersey, for example, you just click right here into the team room, and I'll see in a second. And you'll see right over here, all the different offices to my right and to my left. With all the glass windows, there's an agent sitting there, or a broker rather. In this one, there's Kristen Hill-Smith, who's a transaction settlement specialist. Again, literally just waiting there for your questions so that she can give you some focused answers. So this is helpful to know that if you're a broker, first of all, you can outsource all of your headaches. And for everyone else, it's helpful to see that you can expect multiple brokers from any given locale to give you the focused support that you need when you need it. So earlier I touched on training here at EXP, which is absolutely remarkable. I do want to show you the training calendar here, but first of all, you know that at any other brokerage, typically you can expect one agent in one office doing all of the training. So essentially you're learning from a single agent and you're confined to that geographical location. Whereas at EXP, well, we offer over 50 hours of live training every single week, and that training is done by the top icon agents all across the entire company. So they're teaching you the exact skills that they use in their careers to become top producing agents, and you get to pool knowledge and personally interact with some of the best agents in the industry worldwide. It's unbelievable. So if you take a look here at the training calendar, on the right-hand side are all of your state and provincial specific courses, such as contract classes. There are state meetings. And then over here on your left-hand side, this is where you see all of the classes that the icon agents are teaching. So for example, there is a role-playing workshop, objection handling, working with FISBOs, the list goes on, and it's absolutely unbelievable. Now, as an EXP agent, you get free access to KV Core right over here, which is widely recognized to be one of the top lead generation website and CRM softwares in the business. It also comes included with an IDX integrated website, which you can see right here, that allows you to generate and convert leads online. If you wanted to get KV Core outside of EXP, that would average anywhere between $8,000 and $10,000 a year. But as an EXP agent, you get access to KV Core absolutely free. We also have one of the largest corporate working relationships with Facebook, which you can see here via the utilization of Facebook Workplace. Now, Workplace is not a Facebook group. It is an entire platform dedicated to seeing everything that EXP is doing. So you can see here in the middle are all of the news and announcements that EXP has. Over here on the left are all the different groups that you can join. So for example, if you needed someone to cover you for an open house, or if you needed someone in another town for a referral, well, there's a group for that. And the reason why we're doing so many referrals in-house is because you get immediate access to every single agent in the entire company. And I'm going to show you right here. So for example, if you needed an agent in Vancouver, you simply type in Vancouver and boom. If you wanted to speak with the director of Canadian operations, you just type in Deborah Plyman and there she is. If you wanted to speak with the founder of the company, Glenn Sanford, you click in Glenn Sanford. Click his name and there you go. Hi, you can chat with him right there. So it's amazing the community that we've built here and the wealth of information, tools, and resources that are available to you. The support is amazing. The training is incomparable. Your equity options and your potential for residual wealth here just aren't possible at any other brokerage. Add to that unlimited access to NAEA digital president coaching from the #1 team lead at one of the top real estate offices in the world. This all allows you to accrue the wealth, the skill set, the time that you can reinvest back into your business, back into your family, into your passions, and is why agents all across the board are switching over to EXP and joining us for an incredible partnership here at Double Your Income Coaching. So that's all for me for today. I hope that gave you a better understanding of the EXP model. For now, I'm going to turn it back over to Brad. Thank you.